I booked an Airbnb in Ikebukuro thinking it would be a chill spot. Spoiler, it wasn't at all. I knew I couldn't stay the second I arrived, so stay tuned to find out why, but first, let's get to Ikebukuro. Now, if you watched my last video, you'll know I was arriving from Osaka on the bullet train, and by this time it was getting towards the evening, and I was looking forward to relaxing after a day of travel. The difference in the crowds hit me straight away. It's a lot like somewhere like London here. People just walk like they're in their own world. For a bit of context, I've never really loved Tokyo. I don't have much against it, I just find it doesn't have a lot of what I like about Japan. Like a lot of capital cities, it's just a busier, more generic version of the rest of the country, in my opinion. I couldn't actually remember if I'd been to Ikebukuro before. There was a lot going on here, loads of restaurants, as you can see, karaoke places, and what I think were massage parlours, like this one on the left. It reminded me of some kind of AKB48 vibe. But here we go, I'm about to arrive at the Airbnb, so let's see what greeted me when I first stepped out onto the balcony. Yep, that's rat poop just everywhere, including actually in the washing machine. And I don't know, obviously this was not a nice sight to greet me. I've been living out of Airbnbs for a year, and this is definitely a first. Obviously I knew I couldn't stay straight away. Even if they'd offered to clean it up, there was obviously a rat problem around here, and then the inside was actually tiny too, even for Japanese standards. They'd done a really great job of making it look bigger on the photos. I could have dealt with that though if it wasn't for the problem on the balcony. To be honest, I'm not entirely surprised because this place had no reviews on Airbnb. I have taken chances before and it's been fine, it's actually paid off, but it just didn't work out this time. I tried to get somewhere cheap, but just ended up with somewhere that wasn't ready for humans to live in, basically. I'm pretty sure I must have been the first guest, like ever, here, because it's run by one of those big Airbnb companies, and I reckon whoever cleaned it just didn't realise there was even a balcony to clean up. Anyway, I knew I couldn't stay, so instead of being able to chill that evening, I now had to start searching for somewhere to stay. And this is one of the risks you take when you're living out of Airbnbs, but I have been through similar things before, so I ended up getting a refund within a couple of hours, and then I just started looking for somewhere else. Unfortunately, because all the good places get snapped up like a month in advance, I basically had no chance of getting anything cheap and nice, and Tokyo's especially bad for this because everyone wants to visit at the moment, it seems, so there just weren't any good options. I did actually find another place from the same company nearby that was more expensive, but they just flat out said they couldn't offer it to me, which was pretty annoying. I eventually realised I was going to have to abandon hopes of staying in Tokyo, which was a shame, but I ended up finding something reasonably priced in Saitama Prefecture, which is the next county over basically. So that's about an hour away by car or train, and I messaged the host and I apologised for the short notice, and she said it was fine. So I'd never heard of the area, but whatever. So I gave it an hour or so to try and let the rush hour die down on the train, and I charged my phone a bit, and then I set off walking back to Ikebukuro station again with all my stuff. It was kind of funny to me that I'd made an effort to come to Tokyo and try and have a good time here, and then this happened. I guess Tokyo and me, we've got our issues. Like, I keep trying and it keeps rejecting me. To be honest, I was kind of excited about living somewhere a bit more quiet. That suits me better. I really don't have many firm preferences over the kinds of places that I stay. As I say, things like this with Airbnb have happened before, and it's kind of fun to me just rolling with the punches and seeing where the journey takes you. It becomes part of the whole adventure of travelling. The main priority for me is not overspending at the moment. So I got on the train from Ikebukuro, and yeah, it was still really packed. In the end, it quietened down as I got closer to Kawagoe, where I needed to change. Then it was just one more train. I hadn't had time to really look anything up about this new place, so I just had to cross my fingers now and hope it all worked out. And when I arrived, it was pretty funny, to be honest. I mean, I'd gone from staying in the heart of Osaka to nearly staying in the heart of Tokyo, two of the biggest cities in the world, to ending up here. It's just one of those tiny, cute train stations, a massive downsize, which is fine. Most of the people around me, it looked like there were people who worked in Tokyo and commuted every day from here. There weren't even any proper ticket gates. As you can see, that made me laugh again. And I just walked out of the station and here we are. No street lights. I can barely see anything. Anyway, I had to get the place up on my Maps app and then I just started walking in that direction. And on the way, I passed a family mart and stopped off because I hadn't eaten a meal since the day before. So here we are. Yeah, just like any other family mart really. That's the beauty of convenience stores. And I was looking forward to finally getting some food in my belly and settling down at the new place. I just hoped it would be okay. So I just grabbed some easy things, some crisps here and some little sponge cakes, big carton of apple juice, and then this kind of thing that you can put in the microwave. So here we are. I'm talking a bit quiet because I'm in the countryside now. And the walls are not that thick, but here we are after 12 hours of traveling. When I set off this morning, I did not think I was going to end up here. I mean, I'd never heard of it. I've never even heard of the biggest city nearby, let alone where I am, which is a little town. It's been a long day, but just been to Family Mart, got some soba with kakiage and some pickles and some crisps and some custard and some apple juice. And I'm going to relax finally, put a TV show on, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. So there you go. It's actually a pretty decent apartment, very different from what I've been used to. And it is funny to me because I've had a few comments from people on this channel saying they wanted to see what life is like in more rural areas. So it looks like you're going to get your wish now. But yeah, stay tuned for more videos because I'm going to be here for a few weeks at least. I always book Airbnbs in monthly chunks to get the discount. And if you enjoyed this video, leave me a like and a subscribe and look out for more content from a small suburb in Saitama. But I hope everyone's doing okay and I'll speak to you soon.